Alright, is my S. Are we good? I think. You got me?
I can hear you.
Excellent. Microphone is now working. Everything is good.
Cool.
Welcome to twitch.tv/technical difficulties, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh well,
Alright.
at least it's working. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Alright, give me 1 second to get up my counter.
Yeah, I was just actually... Oh yeah, I need to get my counter up. Hold on. Should probably have remembered to do that before I started everything. Oh well, pity. Just do it now.
Nah, you're fine.
Yep. Hello, Laughless. Welcome to Endless Doom, or something like that.
Oh, it's
Can
definitely
this
something.
stupid thing work? I hate it so much. Oh, it always is so bloody glitchy trying to get this thing to start. I don't know why either, it just decides sometimes that it doesn't actually want to start properly. Which completely drives me up the wall. We'll do it the slow way then, that's fine. I love having to sit here and go through half of my files in order to figure out one particular thing.
Oh great, Retroarch just decided to crash on me.
Oh, that's even better. I'm just trying to get the soundboard, the death counter to load. Is there an echo? Hopefully not. There's a Kali. I don't know if Kali's possibly causing an echo. If you have both streams open, that'll be causing an echo, I can tell you that. I forgot that was in the corner of my room. So I have I have an Amazon Echo that just decided to respond to that. I forgot that was there. Because I rarely use it. That would certainly explain it. Oh yeah, I should probably swap to the DS layout. There we go. Everything is, in theory, now set up to where it is supposed to be. Oh yeah, that would certainly explain it, Laughless. Maybe put the headphones on, that would help. Is my counter responding? It better be. It is not, of course. Why would it be? Do we want to work, please? Life in general? The universe? Reality? Any of the above? Feel like functioning today? That'd be nice. Why is it that I decide to set up for a stream and just immediately get screwed over? That is amazing, to be quite honest. Okay.
I don't know, I think...
Of course the counter doesn't want to
I
work.
think your technical difficulties are catching.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
my counter is not working. Which is even better.
In the thing,
Yeah.
go to your counter, click on the actual counter itself.
Yeah.
And then try.
There we go. Okay, that's better.
Yeah,
We're
that
good,
one's an easy fix. It was
that one's just the computer being rude.
Yeah, that one's just the computer being rude. My fucking OBS doesn't want to capture the actual goddamn game.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, so...
You're just
I guess
having an excellent time.
Yeah, so I guess I'm not gonna stream
fuck,
this
that's
on
loud.
mine. I'm just gonna sit here and invade your stream.
That's fine. It's not like it's anything of a problem, really. This is boring as shit, so who cares? Just invade the stream.
What the fuck? Okay,
Is it?
OBS is a bitch.
OBS is a bitch? Is it working now?
Yes, it's working now.
Excellent. On my end, I should
Fuck
probably
it.
turn my game audio down or something, because that's loud as crap. Oh dear. Because I can't actually turn it down anymore without losing Kali. Game's a bit loud? Excellent, hold on. Does that fix it at all? Hopefully that fixes it a bit. I've just turned it down. a little in the...
And now my dog is talking shit about me.
Wow, rude dog. Is that better? Hopefully that's better. Because at this point I'm not really sure why I'm surprised that nothing is working properly. This is as to be expected when I start streaming at 6:30 apparently.
Dog, if you want to talk shit, get over here on my lap and talk shit to my face.
Your dog is incredible. Your ears have stopped bleeding? Well, we'll call that low enough then. I'll just turn down the audio in something else or something. Oh, the stupid bloody mouse. I hate the cursor in this thing. That's the best, like the worst part, is the cursor. Is that still a bit loud? Does that help? Oh, things I should turn off, actually. Flux. I should turn that off so I actually get the correct colours on my screen, and not, orange shaded.
Oh
that
God,
might be an idea.
I didn't realize how bad Flux messed with the colors, and I think I might have accidentally skipped a shiny because it was fucking with the colors too bad.
Oh no! That's... oh boy, that's bad. Oh dear.
It's hilarious, but also
yeah.
I'm going to scream.
Yeah, I get the feeling I might... Like, it's awkward too, because, like, even though I've not done that many resets, Chikorita, I'm looking at Chikorita now, and having looked at it with Flux and looked at it like this, Chikorita with the Flux thing on, that is literally, the shiny colour. So,
yeah.
So
yeah.
that's a thing that we get to be worried about. Oh boy. But yeah, anyway, so how's everybody's life doing? Yeah, this is a shiny only run. We're doing a badge quest. Because we hate ourselves, or something like that. It was essentially just kind of a meme joke that came up during the Pokemon Platinum run on GDQ the other week, and then we decided we'd actually do it. So, badge quest.
I don't know why we decided to do this. This
Stupidity.
was probably the worst idea we've ever had, but...
I mean, it's probably close. We've got 18 shinies to get. One of those is a freebie at least, but we've got 18 shinies to get.
Yeah.
Eventually we'll get
and
there.
You're gonna go for one of the beasts.
Yeah, I'm going for one of the beasts as soon as I remember the method for that.
Bonkers.
Yeah, as soon as I remember the proper method for that, I'm doing one of the beasts, which is going to be fun. Oh, AA1 is good. I should play Ace Attorney on stream at some point still, but I keep not doing it. I keep finding reasons not to do it, so I just don't. Explorers of Time is a game that I actually do have the option to stream as well. I've got it set up and ready, and I literally could just, like, I just have to load this same layout, just get the shiny counter off the screen, and then...
Okay, what's Explorers of Time?
It's the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It's one of the...
cool.
Yeah, it's one of the second, as I call it, the second gen Mystery Dungeons, because you have Red and Blue Rescue Team, and then you have Explorers of Time, Sky, and Darkness. Time is essentially your Pokemon Platinum of the generation. And it's really good, actually. I'm very fond of that game. It's one of the earliest... Yeah, I know there's a Kaizo. I don't intend to ever play a Kaizo. Not unless you're paying me truly absurd amount of money. I'm not playing a Kaizo. Those things scare me. But, yeah, Explorers of Sky was one of the first games, like Pokemon games, that I ever actually beat, from what I can recall. I think I beat Pokemon White, I think, before that, but Explorers of Sky is definitely up there along the top, and it was without a doubt the worst team I've ever seen, in that I had a Cyndaquil with basically only fire moves and a Chikorita with basically only grass moves. It was really bad. Yeah, like, eight-year-old me...
That's kind of where I go with mine.
Fair enough. 8-year-old me did not know how to team build. I was not good at that. How absurd? Very. I'm not going to attempt to put a price tag on it because somebody will do it and then I'll have to play them, and that's not a thing that I want to do. But, very. I'm not going to, like I said, not going to try putting a price tag on that because it'll happen, and that's the worst part. Somebody will quote me on it and it'll happen.
So that's something that needs to go on the if I ever win the lottery list then?
Yeah, apparently. But yeah, like, that is definitely something. Kaizos scare me, if I'm honest. Like, I've not seen many. I've seen Mario Kaizo quite a bit. That frightens me, I'm not gonna lie. That is a scary genre.
Oh no.
Please don't rob a bank. And yeah, no, Mystery Dungeon, that is one thing that upset me about Mystery Dungeon, is the fact that you can't evolve your Pokemon straight off. I mean, they do have a decent in-plot reason for it, which I'll give them that. At least they did justify it, and it is a decent reason. And the reason is because God hates you. I'm not even kidding.
Wait,
that's
is that
the reason.
actually the reason?
Yeah, that's the reason. Or I think it is anyway. I think for the first half, because there's 2 halves to the game technically in Explorers of Time at the very least. I don't know about Sky and Darkness, but I think they have the same post game. In the first part, it's because you're a human turned into a Pokemon, I think, and because of the thing with the they're called time gears, which are the main thing of the game. And because the time gears are all being stolen, Pokemon can't evolve. In the second half, anything but your starter, so like your character and your partner Pokemon can evolve. So if I get a random Dratini, that can evolve, but so my Cyndaquil and Chikorita couldn't. And that's literally the reason is God hates you. That's literally the reason. It's because God hates you.
Like, literally, Arceus, like, himself, like,
well,
looks down.
it's Palkia,
says,
technically.
"Fuck you."
It's Palkia and I think Darkrai, but yeah, God hates you, and that's the reason. It's great.
Wow.
God, the more I talk about this, the more I want to play those games again, because those were friggin' good games.
That's amazing, though. Like, literally, just imagine just the skies opening up. Pokemon God looks down at you and says, "Fuck you" in particular.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a good summary of how that situation ends out. It's really good. Honestly, like, Red Blue Rescue Team, I remember having a sort of annoying story to play through. Just personally, I like it. I think it's a good game, and I think the story's quite good. I just remember not having fun with it when I played it, and I think that might be because I was like 12, and I was a silly 12-year-old who had no taste. And now I'm a silly 18-year-old with no taste. So, not much has changed, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's like, not much has changed. My lack of taste is very, very resolute still. Oh, actually, hang on. Can you all hear Kali fine? That's something I should have checked before getting too far into this. Can you all hear Kali okay?
Nah, they don't need to hear me. It's all good.
Otherwise, I'm just talking to myself. We can hear Kali. Okay, that's good.
Fine with this.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, normalize is
hi,
such a good ability. But yeah, like I say, Red Blue Rescue Team was one that I remember playing and I remember enjoying, but I don't remember enjoying a lot. She might be a bit quiet. Well, that's a problem due to the fact that Kali's literally turned up all the way in Discord. So, if I want to turn her up more,
a little bit louder. I've been talking kind of quietly.
I can also turn the game down a bit and turn my audio pickup. Okay, try again.
This is Kali speaking. I am on my way to Mars so that I can kick someone's ass, probably Elon Musk's.
Good plan. Okay, hopefully that now, because I've turned up I turned up desktop audio and turned down the game again. So now game is very quiet, but let's be honest here, we're not missing anything. All things considered with the game audio, because it is literally just the intro theme over and over again and the start of the lab sound. So, if anything, I think we're doing ourselves a favour here by not going insane.
Pix, I'm already insane.
Not wrong.
I'm at 1100 resets.
I'm at 625, because I've only been doing this on stream. And
no, Mars is not flat.
Yeah, no, Mars is not flat, and whoever told you this is a liar. I hope one of us gets it today. That would be funny as hell.
As portrayed by every single Sailor Moon fan artist in existence, Mars is very definitely not flat.
That's great. Now that we've been talking about it in the chat, I want to play the rescue games again, because they are really good. I say they are really good. I have played 2 of them. I have played Blue Rescue Team to its completion, and I have played Explorers of Sky. I did not finish Gates to Infinity due to the fact that my Gates to Infinity team was an Axew and a Snivy, and for those of you who don't know, the area with what I assume to be the main final boss of the game, it's an ice area.
RIP.
So you can guess how that went for me. For those of you who don't know, poorly. That's how that went for me. And then I never bothered to get Super Mystery Dungeon because I just didn't care, basically. I just couldn't be bothered. I'd never gotten around to beating to beating Gates to Infinity, so I was like, well, I don't see why I should give a shit about the sequel. It wasn't a sequel from what I remember, but I don't really know why I thought I was going to care, so I just didn't. And then as far as I'm aware, we've not had... Well, we had DX, the new remaster, which... God, can I bitch about the remaster for a bit, please? The art style hurts my eyes. I'd offer to stream it, but the art style genuinely hurts my eyes. Like, I really hope that if we get, Oh, hey, Berkatron, thank you for the host. If we get a remaster for Explorers of Sky... Yeah, I wasn't fond of Gates to Infinity, but it was genuinely the fact that I got to an Ice-type area with a Grass-type and a Dragon-type and just couldn't win. And, like... Because the thing is I got to a midpoint area as well. So I couldn't go any further forward because I kept dying and sent back to the midpoint. But I don't think I could actually go back because I think I was in a, like, plot gate, essentially, so I couldn't go back. And I was like, okay, no. I guess I'm just here now. Because if I went back, I'd have to deal with either I literally couldn't go back, I can't remember. I either literally couldn't go back, and I was genuinely just stuck, or... If I went back, I'd have to do the entire first bit again, and I wasn't particularly wanting to do that because it was a bitch to get through the first time. So, whatever the situation was, I just didn't finish the game. And just, it's sitting there on my shelf at the moment. I can literally look to my left and I can see it right there, staring at me. But yeah, if I ever did Red Blue Rescue Team on stream, I'd have to do the Game Boy version, because genuinely the new Shiny at 719? I'm gonna hope so, please. I'm also gonna hope I get there today. But yeah, the game is judging me. It is judging me for giving up on playing it. But yeah, like, genuinely, I'd buy the DX remaster and play it on my Switch and do it through Capture Card that way. But, like, no, the art style genuinely is faintly sickening for me, and I don't know why, because it's not actually that bad of an art style or anything. It just doesn't look right and it makes me unwell. It has the same sort of effect that bad 3D does.
Ugh.
Like, you know, bad quality 3D glasses from the cinema? That's what that feels like, basically. It's the same effect.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, it's great.
Why can't they make those so that they fit over regular glasses too? Because having to deal with an eye strain migraine and the shitty 3D.
Yeah, it's the worst. There's a reason I don't watch those movies.
Yeah, no, same.
It's like, if I wanted to hurt myself, I would just, I don't know, stare at the sun.
I mean, or, you know, do an all shiny run.
Yeah, you know, like that. Like what I'm currently doing to kill myself this week. Yeah, it's really bad. I hate it. But yeah, I played the demo back when that sort of first came about, for Rescue DX, and, like, genuinely, I didn't get through the first dungeon because I'm sitting here staring at the screen and the art style was giving me a headache. Hell, the art style when I was looking at the trailer was giving me a headache. So, that probably tells you a few things, really.
Ugh.
It was not a good sign, and I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to play this, despite the fact that I'd really like to, because I enjoyed that game and I like its story. It's cute. Wow, did you already start that this morning? How are you already at bloody case 3? Also, all hail Cody for giving Edgeworth shit, it's hilarious. I love that scene. It's almost as good as the Old Bag scene, predominantly due to the fact that Old Bag is not there. Yeah, I really, really hope that if we get Mystery Dungeon, either new Mystery Dungeon games, or if we get a remaster of Time Sky Darkness, preferably Sky, because I believe, yeah, Sky is the, yeah, fair enough you started earlier, it surprised me that you got on there that quickly. And yeah, screw Bugbite and eating your bloody berries, it's an awful move, I hate it.
It's a really useful fucking move.
Yeah, but not when it's used against you.
Well, yeah, but that's most moves. Come on.
Fair point. Yeah, we're still doing this.
Confusion.
Yeah, I really hope, if we don't get a new Mystery Dungeon, I want a remaster of Sky, because Jesus wept, it was a good game. Like, really, I loved it. One of my favourite parts, I think, of playing through Sky, actually, was the Sky exclusive area, the, Shaman Mountain, or whatever it was. I don't remember what it was exactly called, but it's the mountain with all the shaman on it, as you can probably guess from my description. That thing was so much fun. And And I'm realizing now, as I'm talking about possibly playing these games on stream, that first of all, I'm going to do it at some point. And second of all, if I do it at some point, I'm inevitably going to get sucked into the zero areas, and I hate those. So, yay.
Also, rip for Azure.
Oh,
No more Reviver Seeds.
Rip Azira's Reviver Seeds. Rip those. Like, seriously. Yep. Oh dear. But yeah, also, something I'd just like to bring up that I realised this morning, while I was mucking about, thinking about streaming and then not doing it. You know, one thing that's going to be fun about playing through SoulSilver as compared to something like Crystal. There's in Crystal, there's berry trees. You can get berries from them. It's fairly self-explanatory. You know what there isn't in SoulSilver? Berry trees. The berry trees in this game are replaced by the apricorns, which, I mean, I'm not going to argue against the custom Pokeballs. Those things are pretty, and I'm going to be getting 6,000 fastballs as soon as humanly possible to use on my beast shiny hunt. Right. Because those things are really good. But the problem with this situation is the fact that you don't get berries. Well, I need to look up where you get the berry pots from, because I don't remember. I think it's that house in Goldenrod. Do you know why that's going to be an issue? Because if it's that house in Goldenrod, I don't get infinite Ornberry cheat codes for, like, the first two gyms. And you know why that's going to be a problem? If I get Chikorita.
I'm gonna laugh at you so hard.
If I get Chikorita... Well, the thing is I've actually got better contingency plans for Chikorita as my starter than I do the other two. That's the best bit.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like... Consider.
Yep.
At least we're not doing a Nuzlocke.
Yeah, I know. It's like, that is the only saving grace of this entire situation. And yeah, you can find berries on the ground, and that's, like, excellent. But I don't particularly want to, like, feel like I have to start the game every day to go scavenge berries from the ground just so I can actually, like, beat the damn first gym. Because I can just feed it all berries.
Is this the one where some Pokemon have pickup? Because that is one of the most
pickup
useful
is available.
Goddamn abilities.
From what I can remember... I think Furret gets it, doesn't it? Sentret Furret. Okay, excellent. Because I'm gonna have, I am gonna have a Sentret as one of my HM Pokemon for the early game. So I'm gonna try and get one with pickup, I think, because there is no rule against that. Even if it's not shiny, I'm allowing that. If only for my sanity, I'm allowing that. Hey, how about we don't?
Huh?
How about we don't Lapras? No, shiny only Nuzlocke Extreme Randomizer.
Oh god, okay, so Lapras, I'm actually in Platinum trying to do a shiny only Nuzlocke.
You're fucked, by the way. I'm just gonna inform you that now.
I'm 100% fucked. But I'm not doing an Extreme Randomizer, because fuck that. I love myself too much for Extreme Randomizer.
They're beautiful to watch, but fuck actually playing one. It's the same thing I have for Kaizo. It's like, yeah, they look pretty, I ain't doing it though. I am not getting near that. Really? Oh, Sentret gets Runaway and Keenite? I could have sworn that Sentret / Furret did. I could have sworn I had...
What the hell
one of the early game ones does.
Lillipup
it's
isn't in this
Zigzagoon.
Game, right?
No, Lillipup isn't in this game. Lillipup is Gen 5. It's Zigzagoon that we're thinking of. And you don't get that... Yeah, you can't get that unless you get the Hoenn sound stuff, and that's post-game. So...
Ugh.
Well, I'm gonna need to get my pickup list again.
Pickup then,
yeah,
right?
I need to get my pickup list up at some point then.
Fuck.
Oh well, I'll do it now. I've got a phone. I have a phone and no ability to give a crap, so it's not like I'm doing anything important on the game. I literally just have to look up for a few.
Yeah, you do still want to pay enough attention though.
Well, yeah, but that's just literally look up to do the rotations and then move along. It's great. I actually have a bookmark on my laptop somewhere for pickup,
later though, Azure.
Yeah, Meowth is potential, which... Well, to be fair, you can get Meowth before the 4th gym.
True.
So, that's an option, assuming that you don't, screw something up there. Alright. Pickup list, please. Wikipedia. Favourite place. Love it.
I like Cerebi sometimes better.
Yeah, Cerebi. Oh yeah, Apom. That's a headbutt Pokemon.
Ooh.
That's a good one because you can get that straight after Gym 2. Yeah, just shut up and let me into Wikipedia so I can actually like find the damn pickup
Mickey,
chart.
hold this for me. Dude, calm down. I just need you to hold it for me for a second.
Are you making Mickey hold something? This is great.
Yeah, I just put my controller down on him really quick.
That's great. I like the reasoning there. Oh my goodness, I forgot what the pickup table looks like in the battle pyramid. Ew.
Look, he's on my fucking lap. He needs to hold shit for me because I don't have a lap to put things down on.
Man, the pickup table's a mess in this game.
Oh no.
I mean, it's decent. You get potions at 30%, 10% for super potions, and this is level 1 to 10. I need to figure out what level you get Meowth at, actually, because if I know what level you get Meowth at, I can tell you what we straight start with. But yeah, it's actually not that awful. It's just that, rare candies show up at 21 to 30 at a 4% chance.
Does that increase past that or no?
Yeah, it does. By the time you get to 91 to 100, you're at a 30% chance. So, it's not bad.
Right.
Leftovers is 81 plus, and it's still a 1% no matter what area you get to. Apom is great. Ambipom is a good Pokemon, in all fairness.
I have never liked either Apom or Ambipom.
Oh, design-wise, I think they're stupid, but they're decent Pokemon. Like, usability-wise, they're pretty damn good.
I don't like them design-wise or game-wise.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know why, though.
That's fair. Yeah, they're not particularly good design-wise, and their shinies are naff, I can tell you that. But, I have one. It's pink, like, ish, and it's a bit ugly. I don't like him very much, but he exists.
Aren't they already pink?
They're purple, and then they go more pink than purple, and it's a bit... It's kind of one of those depressing shinies. It's enough of a colour change that it's not miserable. It's not like early-gen Pikachu or something, or, like, not early-gen Pikachu, late-gen Pikachu, where you can basically not tell the difference. It's pretty good, like, in change, but I don't particularly like the change. It's kind of a... I'm trying to figure out how to describe it, but it's not nice.
It's one of those really subtle ones.
It's not really subtle. It's pretty striking if you're actually looking at it, but I don't like it as a change. I think it doesn't look good. It's the wrong sort of pink for that, considering the purple that it was, so...
That's fair.
And now that I'm looking at the pickup chart, I'm actually wondering why I was bitching, especially considering that I'm pretty sure Meowth is like level... it would be about level 20, wouldn't it, I think, from where we need to get it. Let's look that up. Meowth in SoulSilver. I really hope you can actually get it in SoulSilver. I was about to say, that better not be a Heart Gold only Pokemon.
Oh man.
That's something we've already had an encounter with.
Yeah. What was that, with Spinarak?
Yep, Spinarak. Alright.
That makes me so sad.
Reset. Devil's reset, by the way. I'm at 666. SoulSilver. Okay, no, SoulSilver is correct. Wait, you can get it on Route 5?
Really?
Apparently. It's a it's a 20%. And also the maximum level you can get them at is 17 on Route 8 at night at a 30%. Or a day at a 30%.
What's Meowth's shiny look like?
Trash. It's basically the same but with a pink tail from what I'm looking at.
Gross.
And yeah, the best place that you're going to get it is day or night at level 16 on Route 38. Or, you know, one of those earlier routes. I say earlier routes, those are in Kanto. I don't know why I'm going with earlier routes. They're the earlier routes in quotes.
The lower numerically, but late game?
Yeah, post-game routes, technically, or second post-game, whatever. But that's not bad, because that's still... So level 16, you got a 30% for super potions... I think. Or is that 10%? No, yeah, 10. I'm looking at the columns on my phone. So
Lapis is saying that they'd recommend Heracross, but they don't hate us.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't hate myself that much either. In my case, I'm going for any starter, but amusingly enough, the one that I want the least, Chikorita, is the one that I actually have the most plans for. Because for like a team-wise, because if I get Chikorita, I'm going for Zubat to get for the second gym. And then I'll immediately get Slowpoke, straight after the second gym, and then I'll be going for one of the legendary beasts, in which case I don't mind which beast I get, because either beast will allow me to get another thing. If I get Raikou, then I don't need to try for an electric type. If I get Entei, I don't need to try for a fire type. So, no matter which beast I get, I'm fine. Whereas with the other two, I don't have a plan like that. Because I think if I get Totodile, I'll probably still end up going for Zubat, but then I don't have a Gym 3 Pokemon set up because I don't need Slowpoke then for a water type, whereas if I get Cyndaquil, I can use Slowpoke as a water type, or I can wait for the Gyarados later in the game, depending on what I want, which will probably still be Slowpoke because I want a Psychic type as well. And then, but I don't have, I still then don't have a Gym 3 thing because I'm not going to be using Zubat during that run. I have plans. And also, if I get Cyndaquil, it's bad because there's a chance of getting shiny Entei instead of shiny Raikou, which I don't particularly want in that situation. So, technically anything, but the one I have the best plans for is Chikorita, which is silly because I don't want Chikorita. Kali's just here in the background like, you have these plans and I do not.
Yeah, no, you're actually making me feel like once we're done with this, I need to go, like, chart out which fucking... Like, I actually need to go sit down and, like, actually research.
And think about this a bit. Yeah, I sort of had that. It was quite funny because I have, like, a plan on a piece of paper sitting in front of me. It's currently folded up, and, well, I say it's in front of me, it's under one of my notepads currently. And, like, literally, it's all three of the starters, and it's just, like, the options, essentially. So, just get it out real quick. It's, like, all three of the starters. Chikorita is cute, but it is really bad, especially for early game in this gen. Like, Bulbasaur stole the spotlight in Gen 1 by being awesome for the early game, so they promptly made the grass type basically useless for the early game. Which is a bit sad, but oh well. But yeah, it's like, so I've got the plans for, like, Cyndaquil, Chikorita, and Totodile, and then Zubat. If I don't use Zubat, I'm probably going to end up going for Mareep at some point. Is something I have said.
I forgot Mareep is in this game.
Yeah, but it's like a 5% or something stupid on the early route, so it's really dumb, and I don't want to try for that. Hence part of the other reason I don't particularly want Cyndaquil thinking about it. Oh, you had yellow. Rip that. Never mind. Rip what I just said about Bulbasaur. He doesn't exist in that game. Oh yeah, I was thinking about doing either Geodude or Sudowoodo. To be fair, I should update this list a bit, because my original plan was get a rock type in either Geodude or Sudowoodo, and then the legendary beast, and then either Abra or Natu before Scion would, so that I have a psychic type going into the fighting gym, and then Vulpix, Gyarados, either Swinub or Sneasel for an ice type to go into the 8th gym, Dratini pre-league, and then probably go for Chinchou and Houndour, Chinchou at some point, and then after the league at some point, I'm going to end up going for Houndour if I need a fire type still.
The thing about Sudowoodo, though, is...
It's trash, yeah, I'm aware.
It's kind of trash, and it doesn't scale. Like, it's strong versus, like, phase 1s, but it doesn't evolve, so it never gets, like... It never gets that power boost.
Yeah, Sudowoodo was... Hello, Ellie. I was essentially going to use Sudowoodo as my like a temporary rock type for early game, and then probably sub it out with anything else as soon as humanly possible. Or like as kind of a bulky Pokemon more so, like because it's got it's got an okay defense stat from memory. So I was essentially going to use it as kind of a impromptu emergency support thing. Like, you sit here and take some hits for me for a minute so I can heal things if I need to. Like that sort of
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
But yeah, I should sit down and read about this. Yeah, hey Ellie. Hope work goes okay. But yeah, I have like thought about this a bit, and it's a bit stupid because I have no idea which Pokemon I'm going for. But it is hilarious that out of all of the ones that I want, I am actually in reverse order for preparation, I think. I have the least prep for Cyndaquil, and Cyndaquil is the one that I like the most, I think. And I have the most prep for Chikorita, which is the one that I don't want. I've heavily prepared for the worst in this situation, but I'm really hoping that I do not get the worst of this situation.
And I'm straight up just not looking at Totodile because fuck Totodile.
Yeah, that's fair. I like Totodile personally. It's like my middle one. Like, I'd prefer Cyndaquil, but if it's Totodile or Chikorita, I'd rather have Totodile, thanks. Because at least Totodile is decent.
That's fair.
Yeah, the better the mon, the less preparation I need, except it's actually less preparation and more just I haven't thought about what I want to do. Because Cyndaquil, amusingly enough, is, yes, it's better, but it's also actually the one with the worst prep. Because, specifically because of the legendary beasts, because when I do the beasts, I'm going to have a really awkward time trying to target one, due to the method that you need to use to hunt them, which, if you don't know how that works, you have to soft reset into into the release. So in the tower where you release them, you have to save before that, release them, run around a bit so that they come onto the route that you're on, and then you have to encounter them, obviously. And if I'm hunting, because I'm not going to be able to manipulate only Raikou to show up or only Entei to show up, I'm just going to be going with whichever one shows up, which means I'm going to have to do the route resetting twice to get both of them to show up to make sure neither of them are shiny. That hunt particularly, is going to kill something. Possibly me. But the thing about that
Possibly
situation...
your laptop when you throw it out the window.
Yeah, it might also be that. Because it's going to be really bad. I might have to look up online to see if there's a better method of doing it, but as far as I'm aware, it is literally just going to be a bunch of luck, even above and beyond normal shiny hunting, because I'm going to have to hope that, essentially, if my target is Raikou, I'm going to have to hope that Raikou is the only thing that decides to show up on the route that I'm using for resets. And that's going to be just how that entire thing works. It's going to be like that. Which will be, fun. Please note the big quotation marks. It's not going to be fun. But yeah, that's something I am looking forward to in, like, the most sarcastic way possible. But yeah, Chikorita makes it easier, because essentially when it comes down to Chikorita, at least I don't care which of the legendary beasts I get. Totodile I don't really care as much. But also when it comes to Totodile, I do have a backup for Totodile if I get Entei, because if I get Totodile, I will also be getting Slowpoke still, because of the Psychic type. If I then get Entei, I have a backup Electric type in that I can try for something like Chinchou, and that's only a problem because then I end up with a lot of Water types on my team. Because then I will also, because I'm still picking up the late Gyarados no matter what happens, because it's a free shiny and I'm not going to turn my nose up at that. That basically ends up with 4 Water types, which is a problem. Although fortunately none of their weaknesses really cross all that much aside from the obvious Water type weaknesses. Because, like, Chinchou isn't actually weak to ground because of its types, things like that. Like, it's not particularly a problem with Bug and things like that. Mareep is good, but from what I can remember, it's really rare, at least on the early routes, so unless I actually change my mind and go for something like Flaffy, it's a problem. Oh, and something else that I should probably remember is I'm not doing bloody Safari Zone for any of mine. Like, no matter how nice some of the shinies can be when you get them in Safari, because from what I can remember, if you set up... Because the problem with Safari Zone in this gen is how you have to set it up. I have always had a problem with it. I like Gen 3 and Gen 4 Safari Zone. Those are fine. But for heaven's sake, don't put me near the one in Heart Gold SoulSilver, because I hate it. Because the way that works is the different areas have different Pokemon, and they have different Pokemon based on how many items you place in the area. So you literally have to do like a very specific amount of jiggering about with the stuff, especially because I don't know how to get those items. Yeah, I'm soft resetting for a shiny. Migs, also welcome. I don't know why I'm doing this, because craziness is essentially the only reason. But yeah, the Safari Zone in Heart Gold SoulSilver can get in the bin, if I'm honest with you, because I don't like it. So we are not going to be Safari Zone hunting for anything. Yeah, shiny hunting can be fun, although if you are going to shiny hunt things, I'd recommend starting on the new games where the odds are better, because I'm working at 1 in 8,000 something, so it's not fun. Oh god, the bug catching contest. Now that requires me to either stream on a Tuesday, Thursday or Saturday from what I remember, so possibly might do it if I want a bug. But that very much depends on what the bugs are, because I don't remember what they are in the early game, aside from the early game.
There was Beedrill and Heracross.
Yeah, because there's like... Oh yeah, there is Scyther and stuff like that. Yeah, there is all of the, like, early game, quote-unquote, bugs, and, like, some decent ones. But from what I can remember, a lot, it's not the best collection in the world, at least, I mean, to be fair, that is kind of rude, because it is, you know, bugs. Like, obviously, it's not going to be a good collection, they're bug types, that's kind of in the name. Like, there's some good bug types, but most of them are not going to show up in the bug catching contest.
I think Scyther is the rarest one in the bug catching contest, if I remember right.
Yeah, I seem to remember it being a pain in my ass when I was playing through SoulSilver the first time. Well, yeah,
so
I could
trying to
change
hunt
it,
this
but...
shiny Scyther there would just be...
Yeah, it would hurt, honestly. And plus, you couldn't even get a Scizor unless we use the, unless we use some kind of cheat for it, because of no trades. So,
Part of me is thinking, you know, for tradable Pokemon, as long as we're doing it to each other, or like, you know, quote unquote to each other.
Yeah, like
it
doing it as it were legitimate. Like, well, what I was gonna say is doing it as it were legitimately. So you get the Pokemon, and you have to get like whatever item you need to give to trade evolution. So if you want a Slowking, you got to get a King's Rock, as well as your Slowpoke. So you can't just get a Slowpoke and then evolve it.
I mean, I think that works.
Yeah, I'm down for it. I'm probably still going to plan around not using trade evolutions, unless something goes completely wrong and I end up not being able to use Slowpoke at all because of, probably because of Totodile, if I'm honest. If I get Totodile, I'll probably not end up using Slowpoke and go for Abra for my Psychic, which leads me to the Alakazam.
Yeah, I am by default going for Abra just because I fucking love Abra.
That's fair. I don't like Abra's shiny, personally, so I don't really want to go for Abra, but I also don't like Slowbro.
No, I forgot about the shiny...
Slowpoke, rather.
Shiny Abra is gross.
Yeah, it's sad. I don't mind shiny Alakazam, in all fairness, but Abra is a bit sad. Also, you know what's great is that having talked through these plans a bit, I now almost want Chikorita because it's got the best actual team. Like, Chikorita's terrible and it'll make the early game actual pain in my backside, but it's also got the best team plan, which is a problem. So,
I literally do not care which starter I get. I'm absolutely going for Sneasel because Sneasel is my favorite ice type.
Sneasel's so good, yeah. If I get Sneasel, I'm definitely going to be happy. Like, I won't complain too much about Swinub because Mamoswine's decent, but damn if I get Sneasel, I'll be happy.
Yeah, Posse, go eat something.
Yeah, Posse should go eat. That's a good idea. I say, resolutely streaming because I'm not eating. That is the only reason this stream is currently happening, is because food was still cooking, so I'm here instead. It was really stupid too, because I've been planning, like, I was thinking on and off about streaming, like, all day. Also, we're coming up on 7:19, so that prediction better come true and I better get a shiny.
If you get a shiny at 7:19, I will literally cry.
Yeah, so will I, if I'm honest with you.
I'm at 1161. And I still haven't found a single fucking shiny.
Yeah, welcome to shiny hunting. It's hell. It's great, but it's hell.
Do both, Posse. Make yourself a French toast sandwich.
Ooh, that's a good idea. You should definitely do that. That's a really good idea.
Like make French toast and put bacon in it.
Ooh. That's a really good idea, yeah.
A French toast bacon sandwich.
You know, I've never had French toast.
Really?
Yeah.
It's really easy.
I know. I've just never done it. I just can't be bothered most of the time. I'm not an eggs person, especially in the morning. Like, it's one of those things that kind of makes me feel a bit unwell. So I've just kind of never done it.
Well, have breakfast for dinner one night.
Yeah, I could do that.
Or, you know, make a French toast bacon sandwich.
Yeah, or just do what we just said here. That means getting bacon. I should get more bacon, because I don't have much of it. Although, to be fair, when I'm back, the thing that's been the most fun...
Sausage made into strips like bacon?
Okay, that's really strange.
That's,
Interesting.
Interesting.
Weird, though.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, all I was thinking is something that's been fun about, prepping to go back to uni in a couple of weeks. We keep buying stuff. And it's like freezer food. And I'm sitting here, like, I have a tray in this freezer. It's really kind of small compared to, like, how much... I'm, like, we're just still getting stuff. And I'm like, I better still be able to fit everything in my damn freezer, because it's going to be, a lot of stuff otherwise.
Right. Wait. Take a sausage strip and roll it up into the croissant. That
sounds really weird, but cool.
That sounds like something you would also need to, like, roll the sausage strip around some kind of pepper or something. And then put it in the middle of the croissant.
Yeah, it does. And yeah, shiny Totodile would be good. I like Totodile's colour scheme, personally, and I like Totodile as a Pokemon, which helps. But it's also the one that's got a problematic shiny route, because like I say, half of my backup plans for, like, different shinies are water types. Because it's like, my backup Psychic type is a water type, my backup Electric type is also a water type, I'm like, and I'm getting the Gyarados slider because the free shinies are free shiny, you know? So I'm like, half of my team would just end up being a water type, and that's a problem. Because we don't want that. I mean, not that I'm gonna complain if I get shiny Totodile, like I say. If I walk out of here shiny Totodile at 719, I'm taking it. So, yeah. I was also about to comment on Lugia, but no, Lugia isn't a water type, you don't need to worry about that one.
It's a, what, flying psychic or something?
Yeah, flying psychic.
That's right.
I just realised I could probably do either Suicune or Ho-Oh as well. Because once you get to Pewter and you get the Rainbow Feather, which obviously you use for Ho-Oh, so I could do Ho-Oh and oh wait, Suicune is right before Cyanwood, isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't played this game in years.
Yeah, I'm kind of just thinking out loud. I'm pretty sure it is. It's right before the Cyanwood gym from what I remember. So that's, hey look, another backup water type that I've got an option for. Okay, so good news, Kali. We didn't get a shiny at 719. We're good. You don't have to kill me.
Aw, I was actually kind of looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, there are 2 free Eevees. We could use... I'm probably going to use one of those, but I don't like half
There's
of
the egg, too, that's apparently got a much higher chance of being shiny.
No, that's Gen 2. There's no odd egg in this game, sadly.
Wait, really?
Yeah, the egg that you get from the daycare, that's Gen 2 only. Possibly Crystal only.
No, I'm talking about the egg that you get from, Cynthia.
The what?
No, wait, no, that's Platinum, never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say, no, that's Platinum.
Sorry. I'm a dumbass.
I didn't actually know that had a higher shiny chance. As far as I was aware, that was base chance. I know that the odd egg in Gen 2 has a higher shiny chance. It's like 1 in 16 or something.
Yeah, the odd egg in Gen 2 has a higher shiny chance.
But
I fucking got my games conflated. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Don't worry about it. And to answer your question, technically, yes and no on having done this before. Have I shiny hunted before? Absolutely, and I have a collection of those things. I have way too many weird, random shinies that I've just done. Have I done a badge quest before? Shiny badge quest? Also, technically, yes. I have one that I started in Pokemon X. That I started completely by accident, which is a fun story. But yeah. Yeah, that is pretty... Well, that is because it's Gen 2 shiny, which is, the IVs are broken in that game, sadly. Gen 2, man, it has a really bad IV setup. One of these days, I'm going to actually beat the Virtual Console Crystal that I have, and I'm going to get a shiny Celebi out of it. But today is very much not that day, because it requires actually playing through Pokemon Crystal, and I don't want to do that at the moment. Have I done a shiny badge quest on stream or in SoulSilver? No. But yeah, so the fun story of how I accidentally started a shiny badge quest in Pokemon X is literally, I was bored having restarted a Pokemon X game, because I was genuinely just couldn't be bothered playing it for a bit. So I restarted the game, and I sat down with a counter on Route 1, picked a starter. I don't even remember which starter I picked, but I picked one of my starters. I sat down on Route 1 and started doing random encounters for no reason. I was just going to do like 200 of them or something, because I just felt like it. 126, I think it was, and I got a shiny Scatterbug. Just completely out of the blue. I was like, okay, wasn't actually expecting to get anything interesting. I was genuinely just bored running about on the route. And I got one. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a shiny badge quest on this. And then I did.
Excellent.
I should finish it at some point.
I unearthed my, I actually found my fucking Pokemon, or Game Boy Color.
Oh.
And it still had Pokemon Crystal in it.
Oh, that's great. Oops. Yeah, at some point when I can be like properly bothered to sit down and do it, I'm gonna beat Pokemon Crystal so I can do the Celebi hunt in that game. Because the Virtual Console, 3DS Virtual Console version of Crystal has the Japanese Celebi event preloaded into it. So at some point I'm gonna sit down, play through the game so I can get the Celebi event. I think you have to beat the league, but I can't actually remember. I'm going to play through it to the point I get the event, whatever it is, and I'm going to shiny hunt the Celebi.
That's fantastic.
Because, you know, pink Celebi is pink, and I'm definitely going to do it. And I'm, again, still working at the 1 in 8,000 odds, which is definitely going to make me want to shoot something.
I got a shiny event Celebi a few years ago on, shit, I think it was platinum or pearl or something.
Huh, really? I didn't even
And
know
the
you could get
shiny,
Celebi.
yeah, because there was a you go to GameStop and they just give you a shiny
Oh.
Celebi.
Oh, that's cool.
One of those kind of events.
Yeah,
right?
those are neat.
It wasn't pink.
Really?
Yeah, the only difference is the tips of its antennas were a different color, like dark blue or something.
I'm pretty sure they're naturally dark blue, so I don't even think you got a shiny one out of that event.
Well, no,
Which
it
is
was
weird.
like, it has like the glittery, sparkly thing and everything, right?
Huh. That's really odd. I might have to ask for like a picture of that or something if you've got one. Or like if you've got the ability to get a picture of that,
I
I'd
could probably
actually...
get a picture of it. I mean, my DS is in my fucking drawer right next to me, so...
well, yeah, if I could have a picture of that or something, that'd be really helpful, because that's weird as crap. Like, that's
Yeah.
really weird.
It's weird as crap, right? Because we went and did a bunch of those because it was like, oh, hey, you can get a shiny this legendary. Oh, hey, you can get, Mewtwo.
That's really cool, because
Right.
we didn't have, like, half of those sorts. Or if we did have a lot of those events, I don't think they were shiny, and I don't think I did them because I was, like, 12. With very limited internet access to find out about these things.
This was like 4 or 5 years ago. So
Oh!
actually, yeah, you might have been like 12.
Yeah, well, first of all, yes, I would have been 12. That is definitely a thing. A thing about... but there was, you're saying, like, 5 years ago. The 20th anniversary thing existed.
It wasn't that,
The
I
new
don't
games,
think.
I know that.
It was just like, for the DS, they would just randomly have these events.
Yeah,
where
that's
you
gonna
would
be
literally
that's
go
gonna
to the
be like
game
a really
store.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. That was first of all, that was for some of the codes. The 20th anniversary, you did actually have to physically go get them, which was a lot of fun because I had to go up the road to get them. But yeah, if they were like the DS games, then that would have had to have been like straight up about a decade ago because those events stopped for like platinum and stuff about like.
Fucking Christ, stop making me feel old.
I'm so sorry, but yeah, like the events for that, like online and like in-store events for
I
those
guess
games
it was more
stopped
like 8 or 9
ago.
years ago because it was when Yace and I like first got married and I got Yace into Pokemon.
Huh. Man, I need to apparently look up the US events more often because usually, like, Cerebi has a full event dex for like every game, but I usually obviously only pay attention to the UK ones because that's where I am. So I don't pay attention to those, and I don't pay attention to a lot of the older events because obviously, not like I can get them now. So what's the point? I just basically use it to babysit paying attention to the new events that are going on, so I can try to figure out those things.
Right.
Thinking about it, I might have a password I still need to put in for Pokemon Shield at some point for the Darude event. I can't remember if I actually did that, because I remember getting the code, but I don't remember if I actually put it in, so I might need to do that at some point.
Oh, you want to hear something stupid?
Yeah?
So I was digging around in my drawer of, like, I have this drawer of just technology, just, like, dead mice and, like, computer mice.
Yeah.
And this stuff and that stuff and my old DS and charging cables for, things I don't have anymore, right?
Yeah.
I was looking through that. I apparently have Pokemon Y somehow. I don't have a 3DS. I have no way to play this game.
But
I have Pokemon Y.
That's great.
Somehow.
It's the cryptid case of that game. It's just haunting you.
It's like, I don't remember buying it.
I don't know why
have a
I'd
way
buy
to
it because
play
you don't
it.
have a yeah, like that's pretty good. Like, did it get mixed up in something you were moving or something? Like, that's so weird.
I don't know. And the thing is, I only know one person with a 3DS, and I haven't talked to her in like 4.5 years.
Damn. We need to get Kali access to a 3DS so we can open this game and figure things out.
I don't fucking know anything anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna ship Kali a 3DS so that we can figure out what's going on with this copy of Pokemon Y that appeared in her drawer.
Leaf says that everyone needs a haunted game and maybe this one is mine.
Well, no. Like, Citra's great and all, but it doesn't work for a physical copy of the game that we somehow own.
Yeah.
Like, Citra's great for emulating
Citra.
it.
I have Citra for 3DS, right? But, just... For one, it doesn't run Sun and Moon worth a damn.
Yeah, it doesn't. Sun and Moon is shit for that stuff. And don't
It
make ominous
really
plans, Posse. I think you'd make Kali cry.
Oh, for fuck's sake, please, Posse, no. God,
Posse,
you
please do
literally
not
will make
actually
me-
give her a
You already
3DS
made
for
me
this
cry.
one
Please,
game.
God, no.
Like, no, not for, like, one game. That sounds like a horrible idea. Like, if
That
we're doing
sounds
it...
like a-
If we're doing it that way, like, just get your 3DS and take a road trip. And just do it that way instead of literally
Oh, for
just
fuck's
shipping him
sake,
a 3DS.
literally Posse showing up at my door with a 3DS, I would just slam the door in his face, just like, nope.
Not dealing with this today. Not
I mean,
dealing
then
with
I
this
would
any
open
day.
it back up and take him to get Greek, but also, God.
Just Posse shows up at the door with a 3DS, like, okay, where's this haunted game? Like, where's this cursed ass piece of shit? Oh yeah, the 2DS is an option, isn't it?
I have a 2DS. It won't run a 3DS game.
No, not a 2DS as in the 2DS, as in the 2DS. That was a good sentence, well done. Not as in a DS.
Okay, I'm gonna
like,
need you to, like, clarify a little bit,
yeah.
hon.
So not as in, like, the 2DS as in the DS. Like, the Nintendo DS console. We mean the 2DS as in the flat 3DS.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, so then, okay, yeah, that's a fucking story that I'm gonna give you right now.
Okay.
So you know the 3DS?
Yeah, I need an explanation, please.
You know the DS, and you know how the DS has, like, the XL versions?
Yeah.
And you know the Game Boy, and they have, like, the special editions of those. So the 3DS.
Yes.
The 3DS has an XL. The 3DS also has the 2DS, which is a fucking 2DS. As in, is literally... Part 1 is it's a fucking flat DS. Which is bullshit. And the second is it doesn't have the 3D function. So it is literally a stripped down, flat 3DS that will play your 3DS games, but it doesn't have the 3D function.
That's cursed as fuck.
Yeah, that is precisely the sort of information that I got when my fucking best buddy in actual, like, genuinely, like, year, what, fucking 9 or whatever, or possibly earlier. When did that come out? If somebody can give me a date of when that came out, I can tell you what year I was in. Because, like, genuinely, I was in, like, year 8 or something. I am sitting here at, like, 12 or so.
Pix, that's cursed as fuck.
It's so cursed. And now, imagine me, 12-year-old me, sitting in the goddamn, like, student common area, essentially, or something like that. Yeah, it was, like, 2014, so, again, I'm, like, 12. And I'm sitting here, at, like, 12 years old, in the corner of the room, not doing anything, really. I'm reading a book. And a friend walks in with his fucking shitty bag and everything, and he sits his butt down and he says, okay, you know the 3DS? Yeah. I didn't have a 3DS at the time. I didn't get that until, like, 20... or, like, whatever. Whenever the fuck it get... Like, when did I get that? I don't remember. But I don't think I had a 3DS at the time. But I do very, very vividly remember my friend coming in and sitting down, and I'm sitting here reading my copy of some of the Discworld book, because that's what I was doing at the time. And he sits down, and he pulls this flat console out of his bag, and I'm looking at it like, what the fuck is that? And, like, he shows it me, and yeah, it's a 2DS, and I'm like, I have never heard of this in my life. What is this? And he turns it on and he shows it me, and the power button's on the side.
Oh my god!
And
So they made
it
a fucking Switch-shaped Game Boy Color that runs 3DS games.
Basically, yeah, it's so stupid. Except it's like a vertical console. I don't want Chicory to please
Oh
game.
my
I just hit the A
God.
button too many times. But yeah, it's like a vertical console, and there's a button on the side, and to put it in the sleep mode, you hit a button on the side. So you slide the slider up, and it puts it into sleep mode, and you slide the slider up again, and it turns it out. And
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
God.
literally the stupidest thing I have ever had the honor of holding in my life. I got to play a game on that. It's really kind of uncomfortable. I don't like working on it. It's kind of uncomfortable.
I just hope they remake.
It was it was
the
literally made as a
3DS
cheap
games.
gimmick.
I just really hope they remake the 3DS games for the Switch.
Yeah,
'cause-
I'd like that. It'd be nice,
'cause
but they don't get remakes.
I
for
would
like
buy
8
the
cents.
3DS games for the Pokemon games for the Switch. Like,
Yeah,
I
but of
really
course the
would.
problem
That
is the
way I
fact
don't-
that they're adapted for the 3DS, so they have a top and bottom screen, whereas the Switch doesn't. So
Oh
that's
fuck yeah, you're right.
so they'd have to like adapt it. Yeah, there's a new 2DS XL or whatever the fuck it was, and I'm like, first of all, can we stop slapping labels on things? Like there's like a gimmick, and you're genuinely running afoul of it at this point. Like you started to when you released the 2DS, but I can understand the 2DS because it's supposed to be like a cheaper alternative, like the Switch Lite is. Like because you know the Switch Lite, right? The one that has it's handheld only and it doesn't have a console mode.
Yeah, right.
So it's essentially, it was the same, it was a predecessor to that, basically. It was just a cheaper adaptation. Gen 5 would also be nice to adapt to the Switch. Can we get Gen 4
Yeah,
first? can we get 4th Gen before we get 5th Gen remakes, please? I will genuinely shoot someone if we don't get Diamond Pearl Platinum remakes.
Oh my god, yes. I need a Diamond Pearl Platinum remake on this so
like,
bad.
It'll have to be adapted for the
love
Switch.
That
And
generation.
yeah, it's so good, but it'll have to be adapted for the Switch. Do you know how painful that's going to be? Do you know what
I
that's going
don't
to be like?
care at this point. I literally do not care. I just want those games on the Switch because
Yeah.
I have played like fucking 800 hours or something on Pearl and Platinum.
Yeah.
Just I need them.
Yeah. I've never actually beaten them. That's the interesting part because
What?
Yeah, that's the thing. I love those games. They're really good. I love them. They were the first games that I ever played in the Pokemon series and all that, but I've never beaten any of them. And the reason for that is quite simple. I didn't own the games. I had what's known as... Yeah, I had what's known as an R4 cart, because welcome to tiny child me. So I had an R4 card that I'd gotten gifted from someone. And on there was Pokemon Diamond. And that was my first experience with Pokemon, was this R4 cart with Pokemon Diamond on it. And I had no ability to, like, team build or anything. Everything was really bad. I was actually quite underleveled, and I was going into, you know, the Cyrus fight on the mountain?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, like, the big legendary fight, basically. I went into that, like, kind of underleveled with a really bad setup, and it was just not good at all, and I never actually beat it. Mostly because I was a kid. And then a couple of years later, something went wrong and I lost the save data on the R4. And I'm like, okay, that's a pain in the ass because, you know, I'm like 8 and obviously that's the end of the world.
Right.
But I'm like, okay, restart. And then a little while later again, there's an update set up on the DS. And I update the DS, and because of that update, the R4 no longer works.
Oh no.
So, and yeah, to give a preface for this, I own 2 DS Lites, and I own a DSi XL, as well as my 3DSs. So the situation that I had at hand was my DSi XL no longer ran the R4 cartridge, so I couldn't play the game. I was 5 when I first got Pokemon Diamond. I got given the R4 cart as a gift. I was 5 years old, and that was basically like the 3rd game I ever played. The first was some Disney princess game where you had to run around collecting like pieces of something in a level. I don't remember it very well. I have a very vivid memory of what it was, but I can't describe it. But it was basically like you had a bunch of Disney princesses and you'd go into these levels and you'd have to run about collecting items, and it was just literally a collectathon game. And I never beat that either because I literally didn't have the attention span for it, because it was like a shitty Banjo and Kazooie from what like the shitty Xbox game. It was like that but on a DS, and it was ridiculous. But like that was my first game on a DS, and then the second game I think I ever played, I think, was Cooking Mama, and then Pokemon Diamond was the 3rd that I got on that R4 cart. But yeah, so my DSi XL no longer ran the R4 cart, which obviously it gives me kind of an obvious answer of, oh, use one of the DSs, the DS Lites, right? So I own 2 DS Lites. The first DS Lite is red, the second is black. Technically the black one is my brother's, but he'd never used it basically, so I stole it.
Did the black
I
one
adopted
start
it.
black?
Yes, it
Or
did
did it
start
become
black.
black because it
Was
like,
indeed
blown up?
an actual black cartridge. Yeah, obviously R4 doesn't work on it, but it did originally, that's the thing. It did work originally, and then there was an update that was done that meant it doesn't work anymore. And obviously, I didn't get the memo that the update made it not work, because I was, like, a child and didn't really have internet access or anything, so that was kind of what happened. So I updated my DS and it didn't work anymore. But the situation was still basically the same. I lost that save. So you sit down, you're like, yeah, okay, you could use the DS Lites. So the black DS Lite, like I say, I co-opted it from my brother because he didn't play the fucker anyway. Works alright. It's got a bit of, like, age wear and stuff, obviously, because it's an old-ass console and it was played by children who didn't take care of their shit very well. So,
Right.
like, yeah, it's not great, but it worked. The buttons, especially nowadays, the buttons are a bit unresponsive sometimes. I use it to play Game Boy games. And now that's where you might have a question. You might ask yourself, so why do you use the, what is essentially the backup DS for your Game Boy games when you have another DS, red one, which is mine, that I could, you know, use for my Game Boy games? So the reason for that is because that thing has been through a lot of abuse. The buttons don't respond properly, if at all, anymore. And when I say the buttons, I mean all of them. So start, select, A, X, Y, B, the D-pad, the R and L buttons, all of them don't work properly anymore because it has been through a lot. And not only that, but the joint for the screen is broken. As in, if I hold it anything other than at the directly flat, the screen flops basically.
Oh no.
If I hold it directly flat, the screen flops backwards to max foldback point. If I hold it any slight tilt forwards, the screen flops forward and slams closed.
Oh,
Which,
no.
believe me, that lost me a few save runs because I didn't, because it slammed closed and froze the game. So yeah, that red console basically doesn't work. It's pretty much dead. It still is, I've still got it, it's in one of my drawers. It's really fucked and I'm really sad, and someday I'd like to fix it or something because it's really miserable because it's just dead. But yeah, I have 2 DS Lites to play Game Boy games on. One of them literally just doesn't work and the other one is barely functional nowadays, so I have a bunch of Game Boy games that within a couple of years I'm not going to be able to play. Because it's just like, yep, they're just dead. Well, I say Game Boy, they're GBA, because that's what runs with the DS Lite. The DS Lite had a GBA port. But yeah, it's really miserable, and it's just like, oh well. Oh, Flux has just turned itself back on because it's been more than an hour. Hold on while I turn that off again so that I don't accidentally a chicken reader or something. Go away. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's kind of the fun story of the situation involving me playing Pokemon Diamond. So anyway,
I'm at 12-12.
You're at 12-12.
I was at 12-12 and it didn't work.
Oh well.
Nothing.
So yeah, to finish the story on Diamond anyway. So I've never beaten Diamond because of that. I never beat Pearl just because I couldn't be bothered, basically. It was basically the same story as Diamond and I just wasn't interested. Platinum, on the other hand, I replayed when I was a bit older, a bit wiser. I knew what the fuck I was doing a bit more. I wasn't as bad at everything, essentially. And I got through it. And I got all the way up to the league. And then I just didn't play the game. I just didn't play the game. Yeah, it's not like some tragic story of, oh, I couldn't beat Cynthia. I literally just didn't ever play it. I just stopped at the league and never actually went past the league. I don't know. But I just never did it, and I've just never done it to this day because, like, to the point of actually, I transferred the team off of the game at one point because I was like, I'm gonna restart and play it through because I want to beat it. So I transferred my team off and was gonna play it through, and then I just never did. So I've got a copy. I've got an R4 cartridge somewhere with a copy of Pokemon Platinum on it that I one day intended to beat and just never did, and it's just been sitting there pretty much forever. And that, it makes me laugh, actually, having spelt all this out, because I genuinely can claim that Diamond, Pearl, Platinum were my first introduction to the series, and pretty much my favourite games in the series. And it is based entirely on other people's playthroughs of the game, because I've never beaten it myself. Like, that is a great...
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, it's really stupid, because I've never beaten it, but I've seen so many other people play it that, like, I know the story and stuff, and like I know it really quite well, and I'm just really fond of those games because they're really good, but I've never beaten it myself. So yeah, that's why I'm really hopeful actually to kind of bring this back to the original part of the story that we were on. And that's why I'm really hopeful for Diamond Pearl remakes, and actually we've had leaks come out recently that imply that we might be getting them sometime quite soon. And they're like reasonably credible leaks as well, like not even like the bullshitty ones, like, because you get that all the time, like, oh yeah, leaks saying that we're gonna get Gen 4 remakes, and they're like absolute crap, you know? We've had some actual reasonably credible ones, apparently. I've not looked into it too much. I probably should at some point, but I've not looked into it too much, but apparently we've got some credibility.
That's excellent. I need to look into that. Also, I'm going to be very, very angry if I don't get a fucking shiny until 2020.
That'd be funny, actually.
That would be both hilarious and I would be very angry.
Well, that's the thing. I've not looked into it too hard, but I've let other people who look into this sort of thing a lot harder deal with it, and they say it's credible, so I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic until the point where we get information that says that it's not happening. So yeah, who knows? But Yeah. And now to continue on with, I think it would be cursed if you got it on the 2020 reset.
It would 100% be cursed.
Yeah, and to go back to something that somebody else said earlier, on the topic of not Gen 5 remakes ports, that was kind of what started this entire thing. In that, how would you port a 2D, like a game made for 2 screens on DS into the Switch? Like, you'd have to do it somehow, like how these emulators do it with the side by side, right? And like that'd look a bit weird.
It'd look a bit weird, but also, I mean, since the Switch has a touch screen anyway...
Yeah, like, it'd work.
All they'd have to do is just divide the screen in half lengthwise.
Yeah, it'd just be really weird.
Alternate... Wait, no, that wouldn't work, so... Never mind.
What were you about to say? I'm curious now.
Well, I was gonna say, because,
Oh,
like...
splice.
The games that they ported from Game Boy Advance, those ones didn't have touchscreen interactions at all.
Yeah.
So they just kind of created new things for them.
Wait, where are they porting that from? Like, what do you mean, ported from GBA to Switch? Or...
No, porting GBA to DS.
Yeah, well, I know the Game Boy Advance games, if you just plug them in through the GBA port on the DS Lite,
right,
the screen was just black.
Like, I'm talking about,
but you mean like
Heart Gold and SoulSilver.
Yeah, like, as a remake.
Yeah, as a remake. They created new things for the thing.
Yeah, I guess. I think it's more difficult going 2 to 1, which I think is part of why we've had so much, or like such a lack of any sort of news for the Gen 4 remakes. Is I think it's a bit more difficult when a lot of your mechanics relied on having 2 screens to take it so that you can actually play it on only a single screen. So I think that's why we've had like very little news for that sort of thing. Alright, good luck, Azir. Hopefully you rest well.
Sleep well.
Also, hi Alex, who joined a few minutes ago in one of the rants earlier, and I sort of glossed over. Like, I saw your messages and then sort of didn't say anything because I was in full stream of everything else.
Yeah, hi Alex.
But yeah, I think that's probably part of the reason. It will definitely be interesting to see.
It'll be interesting. I'm kind of curious what they would end up doing with it.
Yeah, I think Diamond and Pearl, at the very least, has an easy out with that. Because there's a lot of touchscreen, like, you know, well, I was going to say the Ranger games, but no, the Ranger games have an easy out for that as well. It's called the fucking map at the beginning. Because for Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, the bottom screen was entirely the Pokétch.
Yeah, for Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, those were the first Pokemon games that came out on DS, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And so they didn't really do a lot with the touchscreen. It's like they weren't quite sure how to integrate it with the game. If I just hover
on the screen for a sec, I think that's the thing. With Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, porting it for Switch will be easier, or remaking for Switch will be easier, because touchscreen is very... there's a lack of it. It's the watch, essentially. So you could just have a transition to the watch if you want it.
But for Heart Gold and SoulSilver, they figured out a lot what they wanted to do with it. And
which
so
is where I'm going to go with that very quickly. If we have a Heart Gold SoulSilver port, like, look at all the stuff that was on the bottom screen there. Like, that would be really difficult to remaster for the Switch, or like port to the Switch. Black and White again doesn't have that difficulty because the bottom screen was entirely the C gear, which God, the C gear, I could talk about that for a while, because I...
actually, no, that's a lie. I really want to actually hear you rant about the C gear.
Yeah, the C gear. I say I could talk about that for a while. I can't, because I never fucking used it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think I actually used it. The only time I used it for the pretty event stickers, I basically used it as a wallpaper, and that was it. Oh, and occasionally when we were doing the Pokemon Dream World stuff, I think it was involved with that. God, Pokemon Dream World, that's a story.
Oh god, Dream World.
Who remembers that? That was fun. God, that was... I like that. Yeah, if they're gonna milk Gen 2 again, then Let's Go is where they're gonna go with it, and I'm disappointed as fuck, but it's gonna happen.
I liked the, what was it, the tree in the center, the
yeah,
X tree?
extra link or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, Intralink.
Intralink, yeah, that was it. That was a fun thing. I never got to use that with anybody because I didn't have bloody friends that played the game. But that was so cool. Like, that was that was a really good idea, and I've never gotten to use it in my life because I had nobody to play it with.
I got to do it with Yace because I managed to get Yace addicted to Pokemon. But yeah, the Intralink was fun. That was was
really cool. And like I say, Dreamworld was an interesting thing to me, to the point where, like, I genuinely would like to see something like that again. It was fun. It was really interesting. I had a lot of fun with how it worked. Like, personally, I just thought it was a really cool idea, and I liked that they did it. Like, it was really neat.
It was.
Like, the idea of essentially putting a Pokemon to sleep in your game and having them pop off into this little cloud world and playing with the Pokemon there and everything, and, like, you can collect items for it and stuff like that was really cool.
Yeah, like, that was really neat. It was very cute. I thought they did it well enough.
Yeah. Like especially for, like, a new mechanic, and then it lived for, like, 3 generations. It's like, it didn't stop either. Like, that was the best part, was they didn't just kill it off until they really didn't have a choice to, basically, with the 3DS. Moving into the Switch era. Also, yay, sausage rolls, croissants. Those are good.
Yay!
I've hit 800 encounters, and I probably should have stopped by now, because I'm pretty sure food's basically done, but I'll go to 810 probably, and then start packing.
Sounds like a plan.
So another 6 encounters, which won't take me too long. But yeah, Dreamworld was hella fun, and I'd like to see something similar to that again, because it was really good. Especially the minigames. I had a lot of fun with the minigames. Yeah, Pix will be getting food in a bit, don't worry. I think one thing that was... Oh, you know another thing, actually, while we're talking about old mechanics, just while I'm wrapping things up at the end. Pokewalker was fun.
Pokewalker was fun, except for I lost the damn fucking little dongle.
Oh, holy shit, do I have a story about the Pokewalker. So, I'm gonna take you on an adventure here. Like, genuinely, I'm gonna talk until this is done. So, I owned the Pokewalker. I was not supposed to take it out places that weren't, like, supervised walks, because we didn't trust me not to take, like, get it lost. So I couldn't take it to, like, school or whatever. However, at the time, my mum had a job that meant she moved about a lot. So she made me an offer. Put the thing on the Pokewalker, I'll take it to work with me. Guess who lost the Pokewalker? So,
your mum?
Yeah, my mum loses the Pokewalker, and this is like about a year and a half after SoulSilver, and so I'm devastated. I find in a book like a cheat code that gets your Pokemon back, so I did it so I could get the Pokemon unit back, and like I say, lost the Pokewalker. It's gone. And like I say, this is a year or so after SoulSilver came out, year and a half, so it's like 2010 maybe, that it gets lost. And yeah, I was still using it actively at that time. It was a weird thing.
Right.
So we moved through generations and everything, blah, blah, blah. Things have changed, Mum's work and stuff like that. And we've had, you know, Let's Go had that Pokeball, which, by the way, you'd think, considering I like the Pokeball, I'd like that thing. Like the Pokewalker, you'd think I'd like that thing. I hate that thing. I haven't touched it in like 2 years. It's got a Persian sitting in it that was supposed to be getting experience. I hate it. I think it's just because it really lacks like the interactivity. That's also 810, so I'm gonna just leave it sitting here on the I'm gonna turn the game off and sit here on the console screen for a bit so I can just finish this chat. And I genuinely just think it's because of the lack of interactivity in it. Like, there was nothing really going on with it. It was just like, if it makes a sound, shake it. It was literally just an expensive mute. If it makes a sound, you shake it and you get items from that. It was really dumb. I didn't like it as a gimmick. But yeah,
it's almost like just a stupid expensive Tamagotchi.
Yeah, that's basically what it was, I think. So anyway, so we're moving through all this. We've moved through all these pre-order packs, all the years, all this. Mum's work's changed loads, things like that, right? And then, when was it? Oh, it would have been basically this summer, actually, from what I can recall. It was this summer, or like around that time. So in my room I had a pencil case that was basically a storage system for just a bunch of random shit, and in there is that Pokeball. So we've gone through all this, and my dad walks in one day, and he goes, "Do you still have that Pokeball?" And I'm like, the one that came with the Let's Go package or whatever. Yeah, it's over there. All right, sweet. Did you like that by any chance? And I'm like, well, no, not really. 'Cause, again, it was just kind of like a gimmickless Pokewalker. It basically existed to try and pretend to be the Pokewalker.
Right.
And Dad goes, yeah, okay. Speaking of the Pokewalker, whatever happened to that? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it got lost at Mum's work at one point, and like sort of reminded him of that, and he was like, oh really? Yeah. So fun story. And he holds out a fucking Pokewalker. And God as my witness, none of us can tell you how we found that thing. Because God as my witness, I don't know where it came from. He doesn't know where it came from. My mum doesn't know where it came from. Nobody has a clue.
That's fantastic.
But at one point, it somehow managed to get home from work, end up at our house. Hi, Shard, you're coming in right at the end of the stream as I tell a story. And it wasn't in a toolbox or anything, but it somehow ended up at our house again. And just in the ether, in my house somehow, until it suddenly showed up on the side where Dad apparently picked it up, poked at it a bit, and went, hang on, this belongs to Pix. And just walked into my room and gave it me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where did this come from? And he's like, I don't know. We just found it on the side.
Remember what Leaf said, everyone needs a haunted game. Apparently that Pokewalker is yours.
Yeah, and it's hilarious too, because it's still in my room somewhere at the moment. We emptied out the, before I moved to uni, I emptied out the pencil case, because the pencil case had like, it had some of my knitting stuff in there, like it had scissors and stuff in there that I needed to get out of the pencil case to take to the uni with me, because I took my craft bag. And so it's still in my room at the moment. I think it's in one of the boxes, and we changed the battery in it as well, I think, because it takes like a watch battery. So like he genuinely he just pulled it out of his pocket and handed it me, and I just sort of stared at it like, where the fuck did you come from? Like genuinely ghost stories were happening that day, because it just appeared out of nowhere. And it was like, yeah, okay, do you want us to take the back? And we like took the back off, and we looked at it, and it was like, that's a watch battery, we've got spares of that. So I've got a working Pokewalker in this room somewhere. It's got nothing in it. I've not actually, well, I don't actually know that. It might have missing no in it for all I know, because I haven't actually connected it to SoulSilver since getting it back. And I genuinely might, because it genuinely made my day that my dad, out of fucking nowhere that day, just walked into my room and handed me the Pokewalker that I'd lost like 8 years ago. That technically it wasn't something that I lost, it was just, it got lost at work, which is the even better part. Like, it would make sense if my dad had walked in and Mum had found it like in a box. I've rescued, because the thing with the Pokemon in it is there's a cheat code that you can do with the game that pulls the Pokemon back. So I did that back when it first happened. It was an Oddish. I had an Oddish in there because I was item grinding, I think, and I lost the items in there and I lost the Pokemon. But the Oddish that I originally had in there came back using that cheat code. But like, yeah, that thing has been battery flat basically for years, and we've got it back and everything. It's like, at some point I should reconnect that to SoulSilver and just see what the fuck happens. Because like, it'd be one thing if it had been lost at home. Like, it'd be one thing if like we took it out of a pocket, put it down, and it had gotten tidied up and swept away, sort of thing. Like, that would be one thing. But it's the fact that we genuinely are all well aware of it having been lost at my mum's work that makes the fact that it just appeared out of the ether in my house one day kind of more of a cryptid moment than anything, because it was genuinely so ridiculous. Of just, as far as we're aware, what happened was that Mum had it in her pocket, like clipped in her pocket. She took it out and then it vanished, and as far as we can guess, she took it out and put it down, and somebody else at work picked it up and put it in a locker or something. But for the life of us, we just had a moment where my dad walked in with this Pokewalker, and it has been missing for literal years, and it just showed up at the house one day with no concept of its own existence. It had no concept of the fact that it had been missing for like 10 years. It just appeared like nothing had ever happened. And it was just like, what?
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so with that fascinating ghost story
even
in
better
mind,
would be if it didn't have missing no in it, but if it had something like Spiritomb.
if it,
It's like,
I'm tempted
it's
now
a
to
ghost.
get it and like plug it back in the SoulSilver and figure out what is in there, because there's got to be something, right? Like, I know I stole the Pokemon
yeah.
back, but there's got to be something in there. Like, maybe it's got the items and stuff, or maybe it's just soft resetted and there's nothing. I don't know. But, like, I'm tempted at some point now to sit down and do that, because, like, that is... It was just funny as fuck. Like, it literally showed up like man out of time moment. It was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, if I do, I will absolutely tell you what happens when I finally boot the thing up for the first time in, like, 9 years. Like,
I like Posse's idea that
boy.
Lavender Town music just starts playing.
Now here's the thing, I could do that. I could just play Lavender Town theme and start the thing up. So, yeah, with that absolutely fascinating story and a look into my own personal history, and also cryptid friggin' games, I'm gonna call that quits, because actually partway through that story my dad showed up with food. It's now sitting next to me. I've got a chicken pasta mix sitting in front of me, or chicken rice mix rather, sitting in front of me. So that's the situation. I'm now gonna go eat that, and the chili bread that is the reason for the entire food delay that meant that this stream happened. Because my mum made chili bread, and that's what we were waiting for. So without everybody thank my mum for her chili bread, because without that we wouldn't have had this stream, and without that you wouldn't have all gotten these weird ass stories. And we wouldn't have gotten to have the incredible cryptid of the fucking goddamn poker walker that showed up after 16,000 years of just not existing. So yeah. Thanks, Kali, for joining. I hope that your shiny hunt continues to go well. I will possibly
What do you
stream...
mean continues to go well?
Yeah,
It hasn't been going well at all.
it's going well. You haven't murdered anyone yet.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. Thanks
So,
for
yeah.
letting me be on here with you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to do it this way, actually, and I think we should probably continue to do it this way as often as we can so that we don't kill someone else.
Yeah, no, that's probably a great plan.
Because at the very least it makes the time go a lot faster because you've got someone to talk
It
to.
really does.
Yeah, so ta-ta everybody, have a good evening, and I shall see you about whenever. Possibly tomorrow, depending on the situation at hand, because I do want to stream tomorrow. It'll just be a case of what time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so ta-ta everyone.
See y'all later.